You found the Laid Off Lads podcast, where three average guys from Central Florida discuss anything but average topics and have all the time to do it.
Welcome to the Laid Off Lads podcast, episode number 12, I believe. With us, as always, we have the American duo. One, Mr. Christopher Boyce.
Yep.
And the other looks like he's going duck hunting here in about 10 minutes after he plays Xbox.
I really hate on this. Hey, you start off the pod wrong.
Gary.
You didn't say what is up, everybody.
Oh,
I noticed that too. Yeah,
did I not say what is up,
differently.
everybody?
Nope.
Oh,
You start the pod the same way every time.
I do. I usually do. So what the hell did I say today?
You just said welcome to the Laid Off Lads. You didn't say the what's up, everybody.
Oh, you're right. I think it's Phil's hat is really throwing me off today.
You really hating on
He's
the
got
hat.
the headphones too on top of the hat. So
The headphones, I don't mind.
I'm doing my best combination between the two of you. The American flag hat and then the over-the-ear headphones. Like black shirt, white logo. Doing my best to just fit in.
Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself.
says the guy who got his hair straightened this week, doing his best to fit in.
My sister wanted to straighten my hair. Like I was like, okay.
Is that what was happening?
Yeah. It's like down my back, man. It's weird. I hate it.
Did you send out photos of the final product? I saw it in the process.
No, I didn't take any. I didn't want to take any final. It looks terrible. I hate it. Moving
I
on.
don't know if I saw all of them.
No, I don't think I sent
my
it out.
God. That is straight. Wow, I'm now seeing them now. Oh, man. Your hair is super long straightened out. Like it is down like the center of your back almost.
Wow.
And you're a tall guy. Like that's some hair you got going.
I know.
That gets my vote for cool shit of the week. How about your guys's?
Phil's hair was it.
That's it?
Well, that wasn't like tragic or devastating or sad or I don't know. Like there was just always so much sad news that happens and I don't know.
I stopped watching the news. I can't do it anymore. I'm a news junkie too. I have to be in tune with the world, but lately I'm just like, dude, there's nothing good out there.
Yeah.
I'd rather look at like see news about positive stories or cool stuff that's out there that the rest of the world may not be attuned to because it's on the other side of the world or it's been happening and I don't know. That's why I like those shows like it used to be on HBO. I think it's on Showtime now called Vice.
Miami Vice, yeah.
No, it's just called Vice.
Well,
Never really watched Miami Vice. Did you guys watch Miami Vice?
No.
Never watched Miami Vice, but on the positive note, you do remember during quarantine when like John Krasinski just wanted to add some positivity to. You don't know who John Krasinski is, do you?
No, I know who that is, but I'm questioning because I don't know what you're talking about. I had a very inquisitive face.
Yeah, I'll send you some. But he during the quarantine time, I mean, obviously no one was allowed out. He would do like his positive news of the week, and he would just create like his own news station from his home office. Yeah, and he would just bring positivity and stream positive videos and have like guest appearances, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
That's the guy that was in The Office, and then now he's Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime's.
Yeah. Speaking of, when is that going to
blow up?
I know.
I check weekly.
Like they should. Well, but I bet they were. I mean, I bet quarantine screwed them for season 3. Because when did that second season come out for that?
That was a while ago.
Well, you can probably look it up. Give me a second.
That and Bosch. I think I told you about Bosch, Boyce.
I watched a couple seasons of Bosch.
It's
Bosch.
good, man.
He's a bit creepy.
What do you mean he's a bit creepy?
Just his facial expressions. He's just dead in the eyes.
So season 3.
I bet the pandemic screwed Bosch because that's entirely filmed in L.A. And that they've been locked down for ages.
Bosch was on What's that Star Wars show?
Oh yeah, he was.
Mandalorian.
Yep. Titus Weaver, is that his name? I think so.
Is he one of those guys that?
Yes, Titus Welliver or whatever. I quite
sounds British. Just Welliver. I'm really
still
British,
looking,
but I speak perfect American.
Yeah, I have no idea. It doesn't say when it's going to be released.
In Deadwood. I didn't realize he was in Deadwood.
I like Deadwood. That was a good one.
That was a great show on HBO.
What would you do if you were in Deadwood?
What do you mean? Like lived in that town?
That's the one, the town that's all sort of set up for people, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was based in the Old West, right? Or like a version of the Old West. You
pay money, you go there, and you live out your weird fantasies and dreams.
No, that wasn't that one.
No?
You're mixing two HBO shows. The other one was, oh crap, it was on a few seasons ago, a few years ago. What the hell was that one called? So it was something Westworld.
Oh, Westworld, that's it.
Westworld, yeah.
Westworld, the first season was good.
Yes,
and then after that first season, it took off in a completely different direction that I thought it was going to take, and I lost interest, and then my free trial ended.
Do they have of it?
I thought 3.
I think I only went through 2, so I was like right there with you, Phil.
You just lose interest in some of the shows. Same thing with Grey's Anatomy. I lost touch with that show for like 5 years, and then I just recently caught up on most of it. But
that show's huge, though, isn't it?
No, that's still a big show. It's still on.
I think it's like season 15 or something.
They're just running out of people to kill off now. I just wish they would have kept The Office for longer.
17
every
seasons.
show.
For Grey's Anatomy.
Yes. And it's still a good show. Like, you would think that you'd run out of things wrong with people, but ways of killing off people, but nope. They still find ways.
The Office just ran out of bosses.
Yeah, but there was that time when Steve Carell left, and they kept trying to find that replacement, and I can't remember. It might have been
Will Ferrell.
They did Will Ferrell. I mean, even Jim Carrey made an appearance. What's his name? Raymond. Is that his name? From Everybody Loves Raymond?
The actor? I think so.
Ray.
I think it's his name.
Ray
something.
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano. Good call.
Okay, cool. So he made the appearance, and then they settled on Will Ferrell before they killed him off too.
They took the
on The Office?
I think
they kill people off on The Office.
No. So he didn't die. He went to the. Well, you haven't seen it yet, so you need to. You need to watch it. You need to watch it.
I can't believe you haven't watched it.
Is that one of you guys like? If you had a list of top 5 shows that are like your all-time favorite,
I've been on a Friends kick.
Right.
Every
I
night
remember
before we go
saying
to
that
bed,
last
man.
pod.
Like 10 episodes of Friends. The Office is definitely up there. Letterkenny's up there.
If I was on an island and I was given one show to watch for the rest of my life, it would be The Office. Mm-hmm. And I think I have seen that entire series through and through about 12 times.
Yep.
That was my go-to. Like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to put on The Office and just watch it. Yep. And I'd watch maybe 3 or 4 episodes a night until I just finished the season. I'd start from episode 1 again. I don't need any other show in my life. I'm happy with that.
I don't know if I have a season, or I don't know if I have a show that's like that.
I've seen The Office millions of times, the whole season after season. You can watch any episode. You don't have to watch in any order. I mean, it's on TBS on Saturdays. It plays for like 4 hours straight, and you just get sucked into it after soccer's done.
Yeah, I mean, now it's on Peacock. You watch it on the CAC.
Interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. I still haven't checked it out. I know it's big. It's like Friends. It's like those are like, 2 of the probably biggest sitcoms of all time, but I don't know. I haven't necessarily. They haven't interested me enough to turn on. Like I'd rather look for something new, for something
that is different. Something new for you. That is something different for you. And you'd get it because it's office humor. I mean, you've worked in an office long enough to.
Yeah.
And you would think it'd be bland, but once you get past that first season and you get to know the characters and their backstories, It's funny. It takes off and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's addicting.
You know, I have no problem with it. Like I don't have like a why I don't want to watch it or have anything bad to say about it or anything like that. I just haven't had a desire to. But I'm sure I would find it funny. But what's the big controversy between the UK version and the US version? Like, did we steal that version and that one is more, dry British-based humor, and now we try to do our own thing with it? Like, what's the big deal with that?
I've never
one
known
has
it.
an accent.
You what? One has an
Except one
accent.
has an accent, one doesn't.
Thank you from the guy wearing the
Never known
camo American hat. Yeah.
So the British one started first, and then this was a spin-off off of it, but the American one took off more than the British one. And even Ricky Gervais, I think is his name, he made like a guest appearance on the American one.
Yeah.
But kind of the same concept, similar, just odd boss. And I haven't watched the British one, but just from what I've read and maybe just a couple episodes that I've seen,
So why
it's
not?
somewhat similar. Why not? What?
Like why haven't you watched the British version if you watched the US and you watched that one so much time and you love that one? Are you like not curious to see where the show started or what the concept
downgrade.
was?
That's a
How
downgrade.
do you know it's downgrading?
It is.
Any show under The Office is a downgrade.
But you haven't even seen it yet. You can't say
No,
that.
I don't need to.
I've watched the British version. Not entire seasons, but enough, maybe like a season, to know that it's a downgrade. And maybe it is the difference in humor between their country and ours, but it's just not as entertaining. You can see the parallels. There's tons of parallels between the two. You're like, oh, that's the Dwight of this show. That's this person of this show. They have very parallel characters. But the American version, we can relate to it more. But it's just not as funny. But over there, I'm sure it's better than they think it's better than ours.
I get that, but I you've seen it, Phil. You haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, how can you say anything about it?
Because I know when I have found my favorite show, and I don't need to watch another one.
It's like the chicken sandwiches. If you know you have had Popeyes, why do you want to try anything else?
It's true.
I don't know if it works quite that way. But
I don't know. It's a stretch.
it's I don't know. You know what one show that I could do that with, Home Improvement.
Really?
I loved that. I love that show. Tim Allen's hysterical.
Like he's like B TV show hysterical.
Okay, fine. I don't care. But you know what I did see? He actually just popped up in a surprise, a documentary that I watched recently. His picture popped up in it. It was the one that I actually sent to you guys. It's on Netflix called White Boy.
I watched that last night.
It's about White Boy Rick, who is this, I don't know, accused drug kingpin in Detroit, and the court battles and his rise and fall. It's it's interesting, but one of the things was Tim Allen popped up there, I guess, when he was younger, because he's from Detroit or he's from that area. He went to jail for a cocaine charge or something of that,
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
he did.
He looks young. So it was definitely before what he is now, and who knows? He doesn't, I don't know, but I was one of those things where I had it on, and I just heard the name, and I was like, oh, yeah, oh, that's right. He is from that area. He did, I do remember hearing some about that past. But so, Boyce, what did you think of it?
I didn't completely finish it. I think there's probably about 10, 15 minutes left. So I watched a majority of it.
And then Mary came in the room and said, let's put on some Friends.
No,
and
she actually hit play.
Yes.
She actually hit play. Every time she goes to bed, because Friends is how we end every night. She'll go to bed, and I just want to watch another episode because I just love it, and you just get into it. I'm like, come on, stay for one more. But last night, she was the one who hit play on White Boy. And it turned into like, all right, this kid's like a drug kingpin, which is crazy because he's 17 and he's in Detroit and he's the whitest person in a 40-mile radius. And Then it turned into, all right, the cops have something against this kid. Like almost like he's being set up.
The city, not just the cops. Like
yeah.
the
So
mayor
then it turns into like Making a Murderer or whatever that show is, where
Yeah, yeah.
the innocent people are just grilled by the cops until they're guilty, but are they really guilty? So once it took that turn, I'm like, all right, I kind of see where this is going to go. And so you sort of there's certain shows where you sort of draw your own conclusion and go, all right, I know how this is going to end, so let me spare the last 15 minutes of my life. And I ended it because I knew where it was going.
You don't know where it's going. You don't know what happened.
But there's not enough time in the documentary for it to take a weird twist and for you to be like, oh, no way. Like the Elisa Lam one. I figured that out after episode 2.5, maybe, when they said that she had
a hotel.
Yeah. When they said that she was like, she had therapy, she was on medication. And I was like, she was tripping balls. Like she forgot her meds. And
Who?
You haven't seen the Elisa Lam one?
No.
Oh, that one's really, really, really good.
That one's good. It's like the what was it called, Phil? The disappearance
of Elisa Lam. Maybe I don't know what it's actually called, but I had no prior knowledge to this case.
Same.
So that first episode that I saw, and like she was in the elevator and acting weird, I was like, "This is some paranormal going on," and I wanted to shut it off. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
There's certain shows like that though that you look at, and there's a documentary I was flipping through called "Don't F with Cats."
Yes,
And I watched the trailer. I'm like,
amazing.
I want to watch this because I'm so curious, but I don't like watching the things that I'm sure are happening. Like you can the trailer say, all right, you look at the people's reactions to like this kid's got 2 cats, and the people like in tears who are reacting to it. I'm like, man, I can't watch animal cruelty.
Oh, it's sad.
I can't watch like.
Did you watch it?
Actually, a good story, like how it ends.
Watch it. I promise you, it's amazing.
It's good.
And I hate cats. I don't like cats.
I don't either, but
I murdered a cat the other day and I felt awful.
What?
I told you that.
Yes, you did, but
I felt.
I don't
awful.
think you have to explain the story now because I don't.
I'm not a cat murderer.
You're not a cat killer. You're not like you didn't like go in your backyard and purposely murder a cat. So please explain.
So the apartment complex I live, there's a few like stray cats that walk around, and I was leaving my apartment complex, just backing out, and like as I took off, I like felt a bump, and I'm like, well, that's not where a speed bump goes. And I like look around my windows, like everything, and I'm like, nothing. Like, what the hell was that? So I just keep on driving. I go to the store and come back, and like as I come back, like I felt terrible. Like there's just and I literally I felt so bad, and so I called like animal control. I was like, hey, can you please come out here? Here's my address. Just I didn't want to deal with it because I can't deal with the.
Did it have a collar?
It didn't. There's a few around the complex that do have collars. So this one did not, which I was a little.
Okay. That's still not.
It wasn't personally tied to someone, which that made me feel a little bit better. But by the time Ferris came, because I think he was picking me up for work, the cat was gone and taken away. So I'm glad animal control took care of it. But yeah,
you're the one who took care of it.
God, dude, I felt so bad. Like the moment I turned the corner, and I just like, I felt terrible. I was like,
cats are not like stray cats and outdoor cats are known for like sleeping in like warm spots, like especially your car, whether it's in the engine bay because it's warm, an hour after you get home still, and in the wheel well. What's that?
You heard my story about that, right?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
When I was driving on to our former employer and security does a check and they open all your doors and open the hood of your car. I was driving to work one morning and I live about 10 miles from there. So it's about a 15-minute drive. And the security guy opens up the hood of my car and this cat goes boom, jumps out. And so the entire drive into work, that thing was inside my engine.
What the entire time and popped out alive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I come home the next day and I see in the neighborhood a lost cat. Posting, and it was that cat. So I told her, I found the person and said, hey, your cat is currently in a theme park. So, if you want to pay admission to go find it, good luck. Because it just bolted. I mean, it jumped out of the hood of my truck. And
Oh, that's so
my
sad.
God.
You didn't even
So
at
it's
least offer a comp ticket. You're
I
sick,
would've,
man.
but I don't know.
Wow, what a mean
The
human
security guy was like, "Holy!" like, is that what I thought it was? I'm like, that was a damn cat.
That's
That was
crazy.
the craziest thing. It scared the hell out of us. It startled us.
Cat wanted a free ticket.
Yeah, he got it. He might still be there. Who knows?
I mean, there are a lot of cats there.
Yeah.
A lot of cats. But now you just added to it, opposed to decreasing the number of cats that are. But they're there because you can feed on ice and rats and everything else, and it kind of help your rodent problem if there's anything there.
They're there because Boyce keeps transporting them in.
Illegally, and they actually.
Good God. Did you apply for a job down in Texas?
Should.
You would get that job first with your camo build American hat there. So the kind of going back to the topic, it's I literally just had it up too. Crime scene, the vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
Yes, watch it,
Like,
boys. It's good.
It's good.
Cecil
It's interesting because you find out also about like the Cecil Hotel and all of the patrons that have stayed there over time, and like the Night Stalker once clocked in there, and it's interesting.
All right. I'm currently watching the evolution of hip hop.
Oh, is that good?
I grew up a hip hop kid. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it goes through the entire history. It's a 4 seasons, 4 episodes per season, like 45 minutes each, but I'm hooked on it. It's great.
That's awesome. Who's your favorite rapper from like the from that like golden era of rap?
I mean, as an individual or a group, man, it's hard to beat Tupac, man. Tupac is good.
So are you more like West Coast, like Tupac, Dre?
And I love
Snoop?
Biggie too, though.
I love Big.
It's hard. It's really.
I was
hard.
a bad
They're
boy.
just two contrasting styles, because the roots of LA hip hop and rap just sort of came from just like what the West Coast is. It's sort of carefree, easygoing. Hey, we're here to party. Then it turned into the gangster rap, where we're like, hey, we're going to talk about the streets and the issues and social justice and all that stuff. But East Coast rap has always been rooted from just the struggle from the very get-go. Like the Bronx back in the 60s and 70s, where buildings were burning every single night, crazy arson, the crime rate was just through the roof. So New York was rooted from true just struggle and hardship. Whereas West Coast was sort of like, all right, we're cruising on the beach, and then it took a dark turn. But yeah, they're definitely contrasting styles.
Yeah, I was always like a Bad Boys, like Biggie, P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs. I don't know, whatever he changes his name to 4 or 5 times. Mace, like
Will Smith.
He wasn't a part of Bad Boys.
MC Hammer.
I love MC Hammer. You gotta love MC Hammer.
In a way, he was part of Bad Boys.
Well, the movie, yeah. God Lord, you're an idiot.
Yes.
But did you see speaking of rap, did you see what happened to the ultimate Rough Rider DMX?
Yeah.
He's
He's
in rough shape
he's
now.
a vegetable now. He's in a
That's
vegetative state.
Crazy. What was it, an overdose or something? Was that what they were saying?
So they speculated at first. What I read yesterday, it may have been updated, but yesterday they had said it's speculated it may be an overdose, but they hadn't confirmed it for sure.
Jeez, Rough Rider. That's sad to hear. Because he wasn't. I don't think he was probably at like the tail end of that golden era of rap where I don't know. I feel like that Tupac, Biggie, all of that, Snoop, Dre, during that time was kind of like the height of it all. I feel like he was on the downslope, but had a lot of people, in my generation liked his style and liked the Rough Rider's role and, all of that. But
I have on my hip hop resume, I introduced a busload full of suburban white Pennsylvania high school kids to Public Enemy in the early 1990s.
Nice.
I had Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet. I used to listen to that tape every day on my walk to the bus. It was like a mile and a half. It was a long ass bus walk to the bus stop. And I listened to it on the bus. And one kid one day is like, dude, what are you listening to all the time? I'm like, Public Enemy. They're like, who? I'm like, check it out. This kid in the back of the bus is like, holy shit, this is good. And so they started passing the Walkman around with the tape in it. And everybody was just like hooked on it. So some kid brought in a boombox one day on the bus. And we started listening to Public Enemy for like an entire school year. And I'm like, I just introduced all these suburban white Pennsylvania kids to Public Enemy in the 90s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's been some like awesome rap groups. Like it's like the boy bands of the rap world.
Right.
You know, essentially them probably being, you know, up there as not necessarily one of the first, but probably one of the most prominent, you know, the first. Yeah. I was always a big Bone Thugs guy.
Yeah.
Love Bone Thugs. Oh man.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Like the how fast, how quick they were with lyrics, how you know, just innovative they were with great. But
it's a really good documentary. Even if you watch it bit by bit,
yeah,
it's just fascinating to see what the roots of it, where it came from, and you see all these like big time rappers. This guy who did the documentary interviews like some of the top rappers of all time throughout history, and it's really cool to see their perspective of where it came from, how they got there. And it's a good, you know, if you have 45 minutes to kill and you watch it bit by bit, it's a really, really good documentary.
Nice. Good suggestion. I think that covers not necessarily the cool of the week, because it was all kind of sad this week and stuff, so nothing entirely cool. But between shows and documentaries and rap, it's more positive stuff, I feel like, that, you know, are better than talking about, you know, people taking a car and into a Capitol site and killing somebody, and multi-murderers going to jail and that sort of thing. So
that's not cool.
That is not cool. Very well said there.
My random question of the week.
Go ahead.
Totally off the random. When you guys are with your significant others and you're at a restaurant, you sit across from them or next to them?
Across.
More times across. It only depends on like different scenarios to where I will consider not sitting across, but 9 times out of 10 it's across.
What kind of scenario?
Like
if he needs a feed.
If what?
If he needs to feed his girlfriend.
Yeah. No, it takes. Yeah, you kind of have to go slow. You have to be at the right height. You don't want to spill anything off the fork or the spoon. Yeah. That's one
the airplane.
No, I have found it to be this scenario a little bit more with COVID, you know, depending on the separation of tables and how far away, and I don't want my back towards somebody else, so we'll sit on the same side or something along those lines. If there's a game we both want to see, or something like, you know, Bucks game, we'll do that, so we both have views at TVs. Most places you go now, there's like TVs everywhere, so anywhere you kind of sit, but it's far and few between, but majority time across.
I always have to sit. You had said that your back to the TV or whatever it was. I always have to be facing the door. I cannot have my back to the entrance of a restaurant ever.
Yes, that is something that Ariana finds like weird, because she'll always go for the seat that I want to, and she has wondered why I get a little bit annoyed, and I'm just like, here's the thing, for as long as I can remember, I have to be able to like see the room, see who's coming in, or like I don't know why I'm not like a fugitive or on like Interpol's list of top 10 like spies or something like that, but I just have to. I don't know if it's security. I don't know if it's like afraid. Like, I just know I'm a very observant guy. Mm-hmm. I feel like with what is around me, that takes over when I go into some place and want to be able to see a majority of the exits, a majority of the room. So I'm right there, boys, with you.
Exact same way. Every time we go to a restaurant, Mary will, as we're seating, she'll take a look at where the door is, and she'll be like, all right, you sit here. Like, she knows already. She knows that I have to be facing open into the restaurant.
Yep.
And I have to have a lot of ketchup in case you have to fake that you got shot, and you just.
Wait, what?
Man, okay.
Wait, what?
That's a little. You think
I
of
don't know.
everything.
Wait. Explain that one more.
You gotta have a lot of ketchup next to you, just in case things go awry and you've got to fake your own death to make it look like you're dead. Gotta have the ketchup near you.
I've never heard of that before.
But I do. I know my exits. I know that if something goes down, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. I have it all mapped out.
Are you an international spy?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Ketchup.
What?
You never know.
I've never heard of that before.
Desperate times, desperate situations. Anything will come into play.
I mean, listen, I'm not knocking it. It's just I've never heard of it before. I find it.
It's a very different color as well.
But in the heat of a moment, if something's going down and somebody's
Yeah, no, I get where it's come from. Yeah.
Where are you going to hide the ketchup bottle after you
stays on the table.
Just going to go do this and just place it back next to mayo and mustard.
Yeah, I would say, what if you grab the wrong bottle in like the heat of the moment
with mustard and you don't even realize it was mustard?
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Why did this guy have white stuff all over his face?
The shooter would probably let me go just from the fact that I that up. You know what? I'm going to let you live for this. This is too good.
Like A for effort, man. Yeah, that's a good effort.
Speaking of like a weird, odd that, you could prank somebody if that was the case with like, you can prank somebody with ketchup and those type of things. What are, as for what's our topic this week, what are the craziest pranks that you have pulled off, been a part of, or done? And that topic, gentlemen, comes from the one and only mother of the camo-wearing American hat Xbox headphone Phil Ngari, Lisa Ngari.
Hey, girl.
She goes by Ma.
Ma. Thank you, Ma. I thought that was a very good topic that you put in. So thank you. Boys, I know you have to have some.
Honestly, I don't have anything. Yeah, I am the victim. My brother made this really good one. I was up in California.
Was great. Sorry, the glue one you had.
That wasn't prank. That was just that was
vengeance.
Yeah, it was vengeance.
Still a prank though, in my opinion. It's still good.
Yeah. But my brother, I would go to every Thanksgiving out to see him when he was based out of California, and he had this one where he put Saran wrap on the doorway that comes out from the back part of his house, crystal clear. I was in the shower getting dressed in the morning, so he knew I was in there. He just put the Saran wrap on the doorway, and then put a bunch of like on the floor in front of it. So he knew that when I walked up to it, I'd have to look down to say, what the hell is this? And keep walking. So I'm looking down as I'm walking, then I walk, bam, straight into the Saran wrap door and bounce back. And he did a video. I'll have to send it to you. He did like put a background music to it. Remember the song Slam by Onyx?
No.
Dun, 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 slam. Dun, 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 dun. You don't remember that song?
Yes, I know Slam.
I'll send you the video. It's all timed up perfectly to where this song fits perfectly with the prank he did. So then that same week, I got him back with his laptop. He was away somewhere, and I opened his laptop and I reprogrammed it to where anytime he typed the word "the," it would replace "the" with "master of all cocks." So he's typing, and he
well
sees
done.
This, whatever, I don't know. He was writing whatever, and he types the word "the," and all of a sudden, boom! Master of all cocks pops up, and he's just like, "What the hell's going on?" He's just like, "Dude, I was terrified and like just scared because he's in the military." So he's always aware from the standpoint of his electronics of being hacked by whoever, other countries and things like that. So there's the protocol that their computers have is insane. So they're always aware about hackers and things. And he's just like, I was just like, am I getting hacked by like somebody in the Middle East? What the hell's going on?
They got to him.
So they finally figured out that I with his computer and changed it.
And that's another thing you can self-incriminate yourself for.
Yeah, exactly.
Clutching at government property.
Now you're going to have the armed services of the United States coming after you.
But it's a lot of little things. At work, I used to swap everybody's M and N key. You'd take a key off the keyboard, you just swap keys. And it's just like subtle ones that are close together, like an M and an N, because they're right next to each other.
But in the course of typing,
Yeah.
the M&M are right next to each other. So you're so ingrained. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just take one key out of their keyboard and just take it and walk away with it like an E. There's an E in just so many words, and then they're screwed. But little things, I don't know. I
think that's my forte as well. It's just little things that poke the bear.
Yeah.
I just like doing those types of just small things that test the limits to see how much I can get away with. And I think that when at work, that's when I was my most prankiest, just because not that I was bored, but I like to have fun and just entertain myself, and like to have fun at work. And, Ferris, I covered your entire office and something that you drastically hate. And I wasted maybe $100 of the company's ink and paper, but.
And what was that?
Brussels sprouts.
Pictures of Brussels sprouts. Like, I kid you not. I don't like them. Everybody where we used to work pretty much knows that. I've had several pranks tried to be done on me with that. And this particular one got foiled by one of the coordinators that was a sub there that happened to walk out of the office as I'm coming into work and got a small glimpse of a corner of my office. And I was like, nope, not going in there. I will not go in there. I will use other computers. Not till it comes down. When I tell you, from floor to ceiling, you could not see the walls. It was just constant pictures of it. Like, I commend you, Phil, and team, and whoever did that, because you guys spent some serious time on that.
Yeah.
So you can't even look at it?
No, he refused to go in the office until it was all taken down. He got a little, not mad, but he was just annoyed. He's like, I'm not going in there until it's all done.
Yes.
Until it's all gone. And I recorded the entire thing, so I have a screenshot of what it looked like.
Oh, you do? That's right.
I do have a screenshot of what it looks like. And
you're going to have to post that when we drop this episode, because that... It was well. You guys spent time on it. It was well done, and you actually did get me because you guys took a majority of it from floor to ceiling down. Mm-hmm. So then I finally went into the office, was sitting there, and me and the assistant stage manager at the time, who was a part of this prank, had to have a semi-serious conversation with a team member. And the way that my desk in that office faced was, if I was sitting here, I had to turn to talk to somebody sitting in a chair right there, but that was also where the door was. And then the other desk was on that other wall. So as we have this conversation, I don't remember what the hell it was about. I could not tell you. The door closes, and my name is spelled on the back of the door in the Brussels sprout pictures. And I had to control myself to not yell at Brad, who was the assistant stage manager there, as he's trying not to laugh. I'm just like, oh, man, you guys took down everything else except for my name spelled on the back of that door.
Probably forgot about it, honestly.
Probably, but I was like, you sons of bitches.
So yeah, I mean, little things like that. I would tape the on the bottom of your mouse with the laser. I'd put tape on that so it wouldn't do it. I'd go in your office, flip everything upside down, and move things just to piss you off. Put picture frames upside down. Yep. I would rubber band like the pictures. The what?
Tape keys to the wall.
That I don't. For the longest time, that was my go-to.
God.
Just signature prank. I probably got you at that, Boyce, a couple times. Maybe not.
You got me with it probably, I don't know, 35 times with it. I'm just like, whatever.
I would just tape random keys. Like, Ferris would always leave his car keys. He would always leave them somewhere. And for some reason, I was like, oh, left his keys again. So I would take Scotch tape and just tape him somewhere, up on the wall, back of the door, to his desk. And I mean, a load of tape to where just a lot of it. Well, yes. I can't remember. Someone got me back, and I think it was Ryan. Ryan tried to get me, and I want to say it was after one of the overnights or something, and he took my car keys and as a joke, like placed them somewhere, and he left for the night. And I had like the overnights until like 3 a.m. or something, and he totally forgot to tell me that he took my keys and hid them. So at the end of the night, I'm like sitting there like, okay, where the hell are my keys at? And I'm like patting everything down. I mean, doing laps around the office, like where the f are my keys? So I sent out a text like 3 a.m, and I think maybe it was Brad that replied. He's like, "Oh, dude, Ryan hid your keys somewhere." So I'm sitting there like 3 a.m, like calling Ryan and be like just calling and calling and calling, and he finally like responds. He's like, "Oh, I put them in the light fixture." And so that was but little things like that. That's what I miss about work sometimes. It's just that having that type of fun. And I was a pranky one.
I can never leave my computer unlocked because if your computer's unlocked, your desktop is changing some crazy.
Oh yeah, that would always be a go-to. Or you would alter the way the screen looked, so everything would be upside down on the screen, or it'd be sideways.
If you didn't know that, man, you knew how to flip the screen upside down, control whatever, alt arrow.
It took you forever to figure that out. Yeah, because you couldn't even like Google how to change it back. Yep. You had to like have your head sideways, and that's how you do it.
I'll never forget the first one that happened to me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I had no clue, and you're doing exactly that. I'm like, Google how to fix this, and you're looking sideways because your screen. It's fantastic. I did that to somebody once. One of the managers had a problem with their computer. It's like, oh, it's freezing up. And I said, don't worry, just hit Control Alt down arrow. Mm-hmm. And they did that, the screen up, but didn't think that in order to reverse it, you just do the opposite. So this person was just like, damn it, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? And I never responded to them. So the rest of the day, their computer was like that. They kept doing the Control Alt down again. I'm like, just hit up.
Or the one where you take a screenshot of somebody's screen and you put that as it, and you're trying to like, where's my mouse at? I can't find my mouse, but it's just a picture of your screen.
Yeah,
that's a good one too. The most proudest one that I have from work is that one there. Phil collaborated with Ryan and Brad in a prank that kind of backfired on him. So I don't remember
me.
Not on you. You were kind of like the fire starter that just sprayed.
I'm the instigator.
Sprayed igniter everywhere, but kind of just stayed out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was something. Brad's wife works at a pro shop or a golf course, something along those lines, and they were getting rid of these like golf shoes. And he's like, "Hey, do you want these?" And I was like, I'll try them on." They weren't like golf shoes with spikes. They were enough to where you could like walk around in. So we went over there. I tried them on. I was like, "All right, well, Phil and I are going to go grab some food. And do you mind if I just kind of like wear these out to get food just to see how they feel and everything?" He's like, yeah, that's fine. So we go to get food. We park the cart. My shoes that I had for the day, my normal shoes, I put in the back of the cart. This one here makes a smart ass comment like, "I wouldn't put your shoes in the back of the cart there because they could be stolen." And I'm like,
that was my should have done it.
That was your flaw.
Should have said it.
And I'm thinking nobody's gonna steal shoes back here. Like, if they do, then they need shoes more than I do, and I'll buy a new pair of shoes and fine. So we go out, we get food. Sure enough, the shoes are gone. And I'm like, all right, where are my shoes? Come on. He's like, "Oh, no, I was with you the entire time. I didn't take your shoes." And I was like, okay, then it's Ryan and Brad. So we drive back. I go in. I'm like, all right, guys, where the hell are my shoes? "Oh, no, we were calling shows. We were out in the theater. We were doing this, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, come on. I'm not an idiot. Where are my shoes? The only people that knew my shoes were in the back of the cart were you three. Well, one of you who probably texted the other two. Where are they? "Oh, no, it's not us, not us, not us." I was like, okay, fine. So Phil and I start to drive back. And I go, you know what? If my shoes did get stolen, I'm going to at least make security aware that somebody's in the back lot stealing shoes. Not that I necessarily care, but like I should probably just give them a heads up because we don't want more theft to continue. He's like, "All right, cool, do it." And I was like, "All right, cool." So we get back, and I'm like, last chance. Like, if I got to drive back over there to get my shoes, fine. Ha ha ha. Last chance, I'm going to call security. I pick up the phone. I start to dial security. He squeals like a pig. Squeals on him. It was Ryan and Brad. They took your shoes. And I was like, I hung up the phone. I was like, I knew it. And then I stopped for a second. And I was like, you're going to keep your fucking mouth shut and just watch what I'm going to do. He's like, what? I'm like, just keep your mouth shut. So I had worked with a few people in security for years. We had done various events. One of them actually, unfortunately, got laid off, as well. But she's awesome. She is awesome. I saw that she was online, so I called her, and I said, "Hey," kind of told her the synopsis of that story. I said, "Do you want to help me get these guys back?" And she was like, "Hell yeah, down." Like, it was like a slow day in the middle of, I don't know, like February or something, where there's not a whole lot going on. So I drive over there. The security office is right across the street from where Ryan and Brad worked at the time. So I tell the story. We kind of game plan it out. She goes, all right, I'm going to send my supervisor, who I knew because I had worked with, over there to get them and come over here and start to fill out like statements and kind of see where these shoes are. So I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, all right, I'm going to hide you in my office. So where I was in the office was I could see out of the door that was cracked from where they were coming in from. So their backs were kind of to this office the entire time. The supervisor goes over, gets Ryan and Brad, has them bring all of their stuff, all of their bags, all of their backpacks, comes over, sits them down. 2 security officers are sitting on the other side. These are like the supervisor and then the manager of security. And she starts talking. She goes, hey, guys. So we got a report of some theft that was happening in the back lot here. Some shoes have gone, so somebody reported shoes being stolen. And Ryan and Brad immediately pull the shoes out of their bag and like hold them up. Like, oh, we're so sorry. It was just a joke. And she's like, you guys, jokes can go too far sometimes. Theft is a serious crime, and pushes across witness statements to them. And they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's the thing. And meanwhile, I'm doing a slow walk behind them out of the office. And then at one point, they were like, I'm so sorry. It was just a joke. Like, we didn't think like he was like Ferris was going to call the security and everything. I just put my hands on their shoulder and I go, oh, really? And they turn around and they're like, you son of a bitch. What the hell? And everybody had an awesome like laugh about it, and security loved it because security is a little bit more uptight than those of us that were in, entertainment and doing pranks and kind of just having fun. And they loved it, and they talked about it for years after that. Every time I saw either of the 2 security supervisors, like one of those things that it's just like, okay, we could be serious at our jobs, but we can also have some like harmless fun that just, doesn't ruin the business or anything like that. So
it's always good when you can turn a prank around
and
get back at the prankster before they know that you got pranked.
Oh, trust me, it was tempting to reach back out and be like, hey, here's the rundown. You can counteract the counteract if you want. And I can just sit back and watch how things play out.
I was like, you do not say a word.
I didn't. I was very loyal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you did in that particular instance. It was fun. They had all their bags and everything, and they were like, oh, crap, we're in security's office. Like, we don't want to get in trouble for a prank. That's probably my most craziest prank that I pulled off, and even then it's harmless and not. We once unhinged one of our friends. We would always be at their place and back and forth, and we had once undid the screws to the door hinge, so when he opened the door just fell.
It's a good one.
And then we handcuffed a cooler to his desk chair, and then switched his box spring and mattress, around. So you go to lay down, you lay on the hard box spring opposed to the. He was not happy with us.
I like that.
Your door falls down, your desk chair to do homework and has a cooler attached to it. You go to lay down and you go onto a hard Just surface opposed to a nice soft mattress.
College pranks are the best ones too.
Stupid shit like that.
I lived with my cousin and brother during college, and I probably picked on my brother the most. Just little brother pranking big brother types of things, like rubber banding the faucet. So anytime you turn it on, like that spray is automatically aimed at that person. Did those a couple times. I saran wrapped his entire car because at our complex, if there wasn't enough parking, you had to park on the main road. So obviously, if I had been drinking that night, I'd get a little pranky when I drink, and just ran out there with my cousin, and we just kept running the saran wrap under the car, over the car, under the car, over the car, and until his entire car is just covered. And he was really pissed off at that one. And I think I tied his door shut, because if a door opens in and there's another door on the opposite side, you could just tie that so that way he can't get out of his room. And then he was also a very, very big gamer. So anytime that there was like lag or buffering or anything on his end, he'd be screaming at the top of his lungs. He was a very angry gamer. But more so, if I knew that I could run like 10 videos at once and it would cause his game to lag just to piss him off, I would do that, or I'd cut the internet out just to hear him scream.
Such a
It was fun. It was fun.
Boyce, I'm surprised you didn't do any of like the fake lottery ticket or like those more elaborate long-term pranks. Like, you seem like a very calculated guy that would do those. Like,
yeah, my brain's running right now trying to think of them. Most of them probably happened a longer time ago, or yeah, I don't know.
The thing, I think it's too hard to come up with them on the spot. I've done many pranks, but they were always just those little tiny ones. And even if they were a big elaborate one, I've just forgotten about them by now, and it's hard to come up with them on the spot.
Pranks are something that are fun and should be enjoyed, and not put anybody in like harm's way, or, you know, be insensitive to somebody. But I think all the ones that we see for like the most part in like big news are all those ones that go wrong, and those bad ones, and all of the other ones. And I'm sure Phil, with your TikTok craze, have seen all sorts of TikTok pranks that people have recorded, and
not too many. And if they are, they're just either they're fake and staged, or they're just too stupid. I'm like, I could have executed that way better than you. I'm very critical on pranks. They have to be well thought out.
Critic? Is that what you are?
I'm very meticulous with them. That's why, like, if I were to tape your keys, I can't just put one piece of tape on it and just call it a day and be like, I got you. No, like, I have to make sure that everything is covered, and then I put extra layers over it to make sure it's harder to get the tape up, and it has to be executed perfectly. We're taping Brad's cell phone into a box onto the wall, and then taping that onto the wall just to make sure it sticks
annoying.
up.
Just annoying.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. It's. I see what you're saying. It's definitely meticulous, but it's more like annoying. Like the look on my face every time I came in and saw my keys at the top of my ceiling, taped to my ceiling. I was just like, damn it.
Like if you go to a restaurant and the salt shaker, you unscrew the salt shaker. You put it upside down, and so when they pick up the salt, it all goes everywhere. Just annoyances.
Again, just little things.
Just keep poking the bear.
Yep.
Well, gents, you got anything else for this episode 12 of the Laid Off Lads?
No.
I'm gonna have to get me a American flag hat. I don't think I have one of them.
I'm never wearing a hat again.
Some people just aren't hat people, Phil.
I am a hat person, though.
I think you're like more of a backwards hat person.
You said I have a misshaped head. You said I don't have a hat head.
I did not say you have a misshaped head. That's not what I said.
Boyce is a very lovely shape.
I used to wear my hat backwards all the time.
I said he has a good head for hats. You do not have a good head for hats. There's nothing. I did not say your head's misshaped. There are some people.
It might just be that we're so accustomed to seeing him with such a full head that when he confine it into this hat. You're just not used to it. If you wore a hat more often, maybe you'd be a hat guy.
It's kind of like you with a long sleeve on or
long sleeve shirt on.
Yesterday for Easter when you put on a shirt, a very nice dress shirt. Or
I dress
you
myself.
guys look hot, man. You guys look good.
Thank you. I dress myself. Thank you very much. I can dress nice occasionally. I just like my shorts, my sandals,
I said you look good.
My hats, my like. I thank you, Phil.
That photo said to me, "Is there a ring happening here?"
Damn it.
I just want to make things really awkward.
Yeah, you do. Really awkward.
You look like John Smith.
There's my prank from the day.
Who did?
You did.
That's probably the nicest thing you ever said to me. Boys, I'm trying to really move on fast from that other comment at the moment. No, but I can dress nice. I just, you
just don't.
I don't choose to a whole lot of times because I don't know. I just don't. I like my shorts, I like my sandals. I love hats. Like I have a whole bunch of hats. I feel like I have an okay hat head to wear forward or backwards. Although new era hats I found are just. I'm not a hat head for new eras hats. You just look like you literally are either going duck hunting or bass.
I think it's the shape of
the bill. The bill.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. It's sort of like comes to a weird point in the middle.
Just threw it on. Just A, to hide my hair. B, to try to match you guys. And then if I turned it around, Boyce would be like, "You look like a douchebag." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to wear it backwards."
What was the other hat that you had prior to this?
I had a bucket golf hat. It was neon yellow, and I put it on with the headphones, and I looked like Mega Man.
Can we see that before we end the pod?
Okay.
And he's gonna have to walk away.
Yeah, I haven't walked away from the pod. Don't make me do it.
Because you can't with these. Because the headphones don't allow you to walk away to where you can still hear. All right.
It's like a leash, I know.
There he goes, Phil, me and Phil walking away from the pod again. God, what a douche.
I just want to see this hat again. That's all.
What even prompted him to buy this hat?
You're going to have to ask them that. You're going to have to ask him. It had to be like free in one of those like party bags that you got at like going to a game or something, or like sponsored by Tequila Rum. And you're like, oh my God.
There's no amount of money that would justify purchasing that hat. Did you pay for that hat? Did you purchase it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So when I golf, I like to dress
obnoxious.
Not obnoxious, but you know how the golfers at golf clubs and everything, they have that very strict standard, you have to look the certain way. And I'm like, if I know that I golf really bad and I'm going to take my time and I might as well dress that part. So that way I can just get the whole package for them.
Is that a Nike hat?
This is a Nike hat. Yeah, I got it at Ross. It was like $2.
What's the little icon on, or like the pattern icon?
I don't know. I can't see it because I'm wearing it.
I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. What is it? Is it like a cucumber? What is that?
A cucumber? What the would I have a cucumber?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know.
We can't see it, so we're gonna have to.
They're golf gloves.
Oh, golf gloves?
I don't know if you can see.
Golf gloves, not clubs.
They're golf gloves, like clapping.
Okay.
Nike golf gloves. I've had this hat forever, too.
Thank you for getting it and showing us your obnoxious golf hat.
You wanted it.
I did. You're absolutely correct. Thank you. That's why
I didn't walk away from the pod.
Nope, that
was very polite this time, and I like having this leash that keeps me here.
I thank you. Not only do Boyce and I appreciate that, but those that watch the YouTube video of this pod probably appreciate that as well, because they want to see your nice bearded face. And on that note, thank you all again for listening, liking, sharing, commenting, all of those things to our podcast, which is available on YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcast, and Spotify. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Laid Off Lads podcast. And if you're hiring, well, you know where to find us.